Allergies don't have to be scary. Spray Flonase Sentinels daily for non-drowsy, long-lasting relief and a scent-free fine mist. Flonase, all good.
Being strong is one, but staying strong, that's another story. Castrol full synthetic oils are 2 times stronger, and they all last longer. Use better oil with stronger fuel. America's number one streaming news, powerful for new exclusives. Keep streaming with ABC News Live.
Reporting from the Normandy coast for the 80th anniversary of D-Day, I'm David Buell. Wherever the story is, we'll take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
Other top headlines in tracking business. Our Harvard says tuition will be free for families making $200,000 a year or less. It's the latest elite school to expand financial aid after the Supreme Court banned the use of racial preferences in college admissions. Changes go into effect for the 2025-2026 academic year. And the Oscars go to Conan O'Brien. Again, the comedian will return to host the 2026 Academy Awards. We got rave reviews for his debut performance hosting Hollywood's biggest night, and ratings were up compared to last year. Conan says the only reason why I'm hosting the Oscars next year is that I want to hear Adrian Brody finish his speech. The 98th Academy Awards will air live right here on ABC Sunday, March 15th, 2026. And we do have the latest update on the health of Pope Francis. We're now learning from the Vatican that the Pope's condition is stable with slight improvements thanks to respiratory and motor therapy. They are also noting that the swelling of the Pope's hand seen yesterday is due to reduced mobility and is already improving. All right, a new twist in the timeline in the death of Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy, which could now determine where the actor's fortune actually goes. ABC's Trevor Alt has full films.
A surprising update in the death investigations of Gene and Betsy Hackman. Officials now say Betsy called a medical service the morning after she was previously thought to have died. Santa Fe Sheriff says early February 12th she called Cloudberry, a medical concierge service with credentialed doctors.
That would indicate to me that she was seeking medical advice or medical help and may have not been feeling well.
A Cloudberry doctor described that call as an inquiry about an esoteric treatment, saying there were no signs of breathing issues or distress. The office called back twice, but never heard back. Investigators say Betsy Hackman died of hantavirus, a rare illness transmitted through rodents. Last seen publicly February 11th, picking up a prescription at a pharmacy while wearing a mask. She was previously thought to have died that night. Several emails she received went unopened and unanswered. Gene Hackman is believed to have died a week later of advanced heart disease with Alzheimer's complications. That timeline could now play a factor in the couple's wills. Gene left his $80 million estate to his wife and did not name his children. Betsy left her estate to charity.
If Betsy passes away first, and then Gene, his will, in a sense, would become void because the individual he wanted his items to be passed to no longer exists in the eyes of the law. His estate and everything he left in his will would go to probate court, where individuals can argue that they should receive the benefits of Gene Hackman's will.
And Kara, Gene's son Christopher has now hired a California trust and state attorney. Authorities have promised they're going to continue investigating this case, leaving no stone unturned, and could really end up making a difference in millions and millions of dollars. Kara?
All right, Trevor, thank you. The news never stops. You can find us anywhere you stream live news, and if you're on the go, we are on the ABC News app and ABCNews.tv. So if you want to stream with us, a lot more news up next. Don't go far.
Se toma. Pero que la tentación de la existe. Un peligro de los ángeles y los países por solo. Inventa Hyundai Getaway. Ofertas tan buenas, así te sientes mal. Obtén 2.99 de interés por 72 meses en vehículos selectos de Hyundai. Visita hoy tu concesionario Hyundai.
It's your moment, your game, your place, your time to play. It's fun, it's exciting, and you're winning and winning and winning. Your moment is now at Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Morongo, good times, great moments.
I'm Frederica. My baby can kick off for 1 year. It was just a few dollars. Everyone else always asks for hundreds of dollars. It's like you build your credit. Kick off is the best way to build credit. My credit score has been going up 80 points at least. Like, I don't know. What are they doing? They putting their new stuff on the girl. Y'all gonna get her some credit, okay? I signed up for kickoff in just a few minutes. There is no credit check, no hidden fees, no elevators. Go.
Our top headlines on ABC News Live. The Trump administration ignoring a federal judge's directive sending hundreds of alleged Venezuelan gang members out of the U.S. Borders are Tom Coleman defending the use of an 18th century law to deport them. We have the latest for you on the court battle that's happening today. Also, severe weather outbreak leaves a deadly trail of destruction. Dozens of tornadoes runs across at least 9 states with powerful winds up to 190 miles per hour. More than 40 million Americans on alert as those winds fuel wildfires. So we have a forecast for you as well as details of another incoming storm. Also, let the madness begin with you. All 68 men's and women's college basketball teams selected in the NCAA tournament will help you get bracket ready for March Madness. ABC News Live reports starts right now. Right here in Los Angeles. So we begin with our top story this hour. The Trump administration facing a legal battle over its use of a wartime law. It's called the Alien Enemies Act, and they did this to deport hundreds of alleged Venezuelan gang members. A federal judge is set to hear arguments today to decide if the White House violated a court order to turn around 2 planes loaded with these alleged gang members over international waters. And the White House today defending the president's decision.
This administration acted within the confines of the law, again, within the president's constitutional authority and under the authority granted to him under the Alien Enemies Act. We are quite confident in that, and we are fully confident that we are going to bring this case in court.
Well, President Trump also visiting the Kennedy Center today, presiding over his first board meeting as chair. But to discuss more on this, I want to bring in ABC News senior reporter Catherine Faulders. Catherine, thank you for being here with us. Excellent reporting on this. And it sounds like the White House is poised and ready to answer questions from the judge today and defend its position here. What do you anticipate from this hearing?
Yeah, they sure are. This hearing from the judge that will occur in about an hour from now, Kana, was set after the plaintiffs in the case asked the judge to order the government to answer more questions about why they made the decisions they did not to turn those 2 planes around after the judge in court on Saturday over the weekend ordered them turned around. There's still lots of questions here about whether the administration violated the judge's order, and what's very clear here is the judge in court said if there are any planes deporting non-citizens under the Alien Enemies Act, if they're in the air, they must be turned around. We know that 2 planes were in the air during the time of that hearing when the judge said it. In fact, those 2 planes took off during the hearing, and the judge then ordered them turned around. Now, what the White House is saying, and what the Department of Justice in court filings is saying, is we didn't violate the judge's order because the planes were already over international waters, and then the judge issued another order, not another order, but a clarifying order that didn't mention specifically the turning around of the plane. So they're trying to argue that what was said in court doesn't really hold compared to what then is later posted on the docket. Point being, this will be a very interesting hearing because the judge will force the government to answer questions about their decision-making here. Does he believe they violated his order? And if he does, what type of action will he take? The government will need to likely go into excruciating detail about the decision-making and why they made the decisions that they did on Saturday not to turn around those planes when they were so near.
So, Catherine, let's hone in here on the verbal order versus the written order. We know that the White House press secretary said today there's questions about whether a verbal order really does carry the same weight as a written order. What more do we know about that argument? And I know in some of your past reporting here, you've really put the timestamp on it for us.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see exactly what the judge says about this and whether this holds, because while there is some case law about whether a written order posted on the docket after something in court is more clear, yes, maybe it could be more clear, but then that eliminates the judge essentially inside a courtroom ruling from the bench. I know we use that term a lot, ruling from the bench, and they always say they will post a subsequent order with their rationale here. So what the administration is saying is that what was said in court really doesn't hold. That's not an order. They're not in defiance of an order because that is a directive from the judge, and that doesn't hold because it isn't in writing after the fact. I'm not sure what the judge will say about that. I would be curious to hear what he says when I'm sitting in that courtroom, but that's one issue. The other issue is the argument that the White House and the administration is going to make, that these planes took off, they were out of U.S. airspace over international waters, and therefore the judge didn't have jurisdiction. I'm not sure the judge will think he didn't have jurisdiction. These are, if they are in fact U.S. aircraft or the property of the United States, the judge probably would believe that he loses jurisdiction when the planes landed. They weren't on the ground yet when the order then turned around. So all of this complex legal questions, but we'll be fascinating to see what he says to the government in court.
I know you'll be watching that very closely for us, Catherine. Thank you. I also want to touch base with you quickly as well on the president claiming that former President Biden's preemptive pardons of members of that January 6th committee are, quoting him here, void, vacant, and of no future force or effect. Is this something he can really do here, and how are these members reacting?
Well, yeah, look, it's a good question, and I'm sure obviously a lot of these members have understood that Trump has long postured that he wants to prosecute them. They are pardoned. Now, in terms of being void or vacant, he's claiming that this is the case because they were signed with an auto pen. Now, look, many presidents in the past have used auto pens. President Obama, this was a position under the Bush administration, for example, that you can use auto pen. That was your signature. So Trump is trying to claim that because of the auto pen issue that however, there would need to be a Department of Justice that has to consult with his lawyers, has to consult with DOJ, other plans to investigate. All of that, we don't have the answers. The administration has been quiet on that part.
We certainly have. All right, Catherine Folders, our thanks to you as always. I now want to bring in Democratic Congressman for Rhode Island, Seth Magaziner. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks so much for having me.
Of course, I'd love to just get your first reaction here about this January 6th note here from the president. I also want to share with you one of the members here, Adam Schiff, out of California, saying that members of the January 6th committee are proud of our work. He says to the president, your threats will not intimidate us or silence us. What more are you hearing about this?
Well, first of all, let's start with the important point that members of the January 6th committee did nothing wrong. In fact, they were doing their job investigating the causes of a violent assault on the United States Capitol in which an angry mob incited by Donald Trump attacked police officers and tried to stop the legal counting of votes under our Constitution. Now, I don't want to speak for the members of the commission, but I know a number of them that I have spoken with personally, frankly didn't want the pardons because they implied some sort of guilt when there was none. That being said, President Trump's latest argument that the type of pen that is used to sign a pardon has a role to play in whether the pardon is valid or not is totally absurd. And no one should be taking their legal advice from Donald Trump. This is the same guy who illegally smuggled classified material outside of the White House, tried to store it in his bathroom in Florida, And then his argument was that he had the power to declassify documents with his mind without signing anything. So in Donald Trump's world, he can declassify documents without signing anything. But Joe Biden can't pardon someone with a certain kind of pen versus another kind of pen. It's absurd. It's ridiculous. And it's frankly satisfying.
Well, we also have classified documents questions that will swirl around that former President Biden as well. But I do want to ask you, you're on the Homeland Security Committee. What is your take right now on Trump invoking hearing about this?
Listen, I don't think anyone disagrees that violent criminals should be deported to the United States if they're not here legally. There's no question about that. What is at question is whether President Trump believes that he is above the law and can ignore courts. To be clear, the judge wasn't saying don't deport these people. The judge was saying let's pause and take a look at the facts and whether these are individuals who legally should be deported or not. So I think the question here is not whether the president has the authority to deport people for illegal acts. Of course he does and he should. The question is whether this administration thinks that they are above the law and can ignore the courts. Clearly, under our system of government, we have checks and balances. And if the court says, hey, hold on to these detainees for a couple of days while we figure out what's what, then the president should abide by that ruling.
I also want to ask you about the budget vote here recently. You said you voted no on the budget brought forward by Republicans over concerns specifically about how Elon Musk and Doge are going about cutting we want some immediate restrictions from the Doge team if they would actually honor the budget that Congress passed. Are you looking for any specifics there?
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, under our system of government, again, it is Congress that has the authority to set budgets, to create agencies, and to fund them. And Elon Musk, this unvetted army of interns, does not have the right to just decide to ignore the budget that Congress passes through a democratic process. So our position is clear. I mean, for us to pass a budget,
oh my goodness, you can make one.
that the administration would actually follow it. And by the way, we're also finding more efficiency in government. If Elon Musk or anybody else has ideas for how government can be more efficient, by all means present those ideas. But what is not okay is for Elon Musk to just unilaterally decide that he's going to shut down the Department of Education, that he's going to fire people from the Social Security Administration, that Omaha, he's going to fire people from the Veterans Administration, when Congress has appropriated funds to provide those services. We have a checks and balances. We have branches under our constitutional system, and it is Congress, not Elon Musk, who appropriates funds.
Well, and we do know that shutting down the Department of Education would take congressional approval. We also know that really is an order that's coming from the president, and he has that one bit. He's made it very clear that he doesn't want to do away with that. But I also...
But again, Congress, as you pointed out, Congress created the Department of Education and funded the operations of that agency. The administration has already started shutting down broad functions across the Department of Education with no approval from Congress whatsoever. Again, under our system, that is not how it is supposed to work. The president can present a plan to Congress for our approval, and we can argue the merits of it. But for the president or Elon Musk to ignore Congress or ignore the courts whenever it doesn't suit their opinion is unconstitutional and wrong.
Well, let's build out a little bit here about what's going on the Democratic side here. Is there, in your opinion, frustration with some Senate Democrats, specifically Leader Chuck Schumer, for not blocking last week's funding bill? Do you think that there should have been a government shutdown? Do you feel like Democrats should have come together in that moment?
Well, listen, we can debate strategy and tactics, but I can tell you in the Democratic caucus, the overwhelming frustration is with Donald Trump and Elon Musk acting like they are above the law, ignoring the courts, ignoring the Congress, and ignoring the Constitution. We can have our tactical disagreements for how we should deal with the administration's actions, but again, we can have policy debates, but it is impossible to have real policy debates when the administration is acting like they're above the law and that they can just ignore budgets that Congress passes.
All right, Congressman Seth Magaziner, thank you for spending some time with us today.
Thanks for having me.
All right, President Trump says that he will be speaking to Russian President Vladimir Putin tomorrow as the U.S. tries to broker a ceasefire between Ukraine and Russia. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov added that the conversation between the two leaders will set the tone for restoring relations between Russia and the U.S. And tomorrow's meeting follows the Trump administration's recent push encouraging Putin and Ukrainian President Zelensky to end the 3-year war, including negotiations with Ukrainian officials in Saudi Arabia for a potential 30-day ceasefire. ABC News Chief International Correspondent James Longman has the latest for us from Kyiv.
A big moment tomorrow. Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump speaking by phone about the situation here in Ukraine. Russia, of course, frozen out of the international community during these 3 long years of this war. And in many ways, they've got in the United States. And they are presenting this as part of a wider thawing of the relationship between the United States and Russia. The Ukrainians are worried about this story because they've heard what Donald Trump has said about it. He has been speaking about the land, territorial dispute, the dividing of assets, and these are end goals. These are the things that Russia invaded Ukraine for. This is not part of the ceasefire agreement. They want the phone call. The Ukrainians want this phone call to be only about the ceasefire. Remember, Ukraine has already agreed to this interim 20-day ceasefire after its talks with Saudi Arabia. Russia has yet to do so. The danger, as far as Ukraine is concerned, is that this phone call leads into a wider negotiation about the future of this war, the future of the massive occupation of key parts of Ukraine, some 20% of the country currently under Russian occupation. And Ukraine worries they're just going to get cut out of the picture. And that Donald Trump will take up some of the Russian talking points that we know he's taken up before. If you remember that Oval Office blowout with President Zelensky and J.D. Vance present afterwards, Donald Trump was saying, well, Ukraine kind of started this war, and President Zelensky is not popular in his own country, he's got low approval ratings, this is all what Russia says about President Zelensky. So I think the concern here is that after this call, we might hear some of that language from Donald Trump. But it is a big moment. And if Russia decides, yes, to pause hostilities, that will be the first time they'll do a ceasefire. There's never been a ceasefire in this war for 3 long years.
Wow, James Longman, thanks to you. Also, 40 million Americans from New Mexico to Illinois are on alert facing extreme fire danger. In Oklahoma, fast-moving fires leading to at least 4 deaths, with frightening video showing residents rushing to escape. At least 42 people are now dead from the storm system and tornado outbreaks across the Midwest and the South. Meteorologist Mark Theodore is here. She's tracking all of this ongoing danger along with new cross-country storm in the wings. So what are you most concerned about right now? Hard to ask.
I know, yeah, a lot going on, but certainly that fire risk. So we have a critical fire risk today for Amarillo, down the Midland, Roswell, all the way up into Denver, Omaha, even an elevated fire risk. Tomorrow, the situation only escalates. You can see an extreme fire risk in 4 parts of the Texas Panhandle, down to Lubbock. Oklahoma City still sitting in that elevated risk for fire. So this should be that the conditions outside the wildfires. One of the components to this is the extremely strong wind gusts that we're talking about, up to 75 miles per hour. You couple that with dry air, relative humidity down to 7%, that really makes for a tinderbox type of situation, and that is our big concern in the days ahead. As a result, National Weather Service offices have issued red flag warnings from San Antonio up to Dodge City, as far north as Davenport, and even up to Madison, Wisconsin, under a fire weather watch right now. And it's not just the heartland. Back down in Florida, from
even just a couple of days ago, we will have kind of be in a situation where, for the first time, we have open defiance of a court order. So I think we'd be in a very different place.
So a couple of things here. Some people who aren't lawyers would ask, when is a judge's order actually effective? When does it go into effect? And then what happens if there are differences between what the judge says out loud while he's sitting on the bench and what is in a written order?
There's no difference between what the judge says orally and what's written, as long as there's no significant departure between the two. Judges issue orders all the time from the bench orally, especially in cases like this when time is of the essence. Now, because the rule of law requires an orderly process. Once the judge's order is entered, that's considered a valid order. And if the government doesn't agree with it, then they need to follow proper protocol to appeal, which they did. And until that appeal is resolved, that order stands.
As a practical matter, though, is there a distinction or an issue to be made of the idea that a judge gives an order and the lawyer needs time to transmit that order? In this case, going from the courtroom to the cockpit of an airplane, if that takes 30 to 40 minutes, would that be in violation of a judge's order to do something immediately?
Certainly, these things kind of happen, where you could have misunderstandings, and that will come out in the course of this hearing, right? This is why you put people under oath. You ask them questions about what they knew when, and certainly the judge is not going to rush to order or put anybody under contempt citation without finding that there is a willful effort to defy his order. So yes, the accidents happen.
Yeah. Before I let you go, I do also want to ask you about this idea that former President Biden's pardons of the January 6th committee members are void because he used an auto pin. Is there any legal argument that one president can take back the pardons that have been issued by a previous president?
On the subsequent question you raised, there's absolutely no basis to assert that a successor president can simply invalidate a previous president's pardon.
All right. That's pretty direct and pretty simple. Professor Robert Asai, we appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
Coming up, Democrats in crisis and warning signs for the White House. Steve Kornacki is at the big board with the top takeaways from a brand new NBC News poll. Plus, with Democrats at a crossroads, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer facing backlash from members of his own party. That's after last week's government funding deal. We are live on the Hill with the latest fallout. You're watching Meet the Press Now.
Here at OG's, we are leaving it all on the court this year and making your hoop dreams come true. We have a TV setup that can't be beat. So come on in and elevate your game with OG's Sports Brewhouse Pizza. So to find a location near you or to order online for takeout or delivery, visit OGs.com. OGGIS.com. Let the madness begin.
When emergency strikes, first responders are the first ones in. But on outdated networks, the crucial technology we depend on is limited. That's why T-Mobile created T-Priority, the only solution built for the 5G era that can dynamically dedicate up to 10 times the capacity for first responders. T-Priority, built for tomorrow's emergencies, ready.
Making it clear that their system wasn't missing a minor detail, it was missing an entire category of people like you.
It's your
And that's where the real tally is.
The views.
Because if one person only exists,
That's a recipe for a loving moment. Right now, it's the only moment. The secret. The rhyme. The steak and lobster. Sierra at Morocco Casino Resort and Spa. Good time.
Who's the machine for Anastasia Beverly?
Number 3, they hoped you were a coincidence. You weren't. At first, they thought it was a fluke, a strange reading, a rare statistical hiccup. They feel like you aren't supposed to exist, not in a way that disrupts the system. So their first instinct was to dismiss you as an exception. An interesting case, but ultimately irrelevant to the bigger picture. I've seen unusual people before. High performers, eccentric minds, people who bend the rules but still play within the system's limits. But you,
Smells like
you
drop
weren't just
that
bending
smirk
the
off
rules,
his
you were
face.
operating outside
Doing
of
one
them
job
entirely.
doesn't make us
And
pass.
that's when the real discomfort set in, because anomalies aren't supposed to be repeatable. But every test, every analysis, every deeper look into you only reinforce your existence. That is why they had two choices. They desperately wanted the second option. They wanted to believe just a little more digging would find the missing piece that would slot you into an existing category. Maybe you were a product of
But you're just taking less help in your lap, right? But doesn't matter a shit. Now let's talk about this step back and what he's trying to accomplish. So the big thing is this: he is going to play before you do.
When he plants his foot is exactly when he can see your feet are starting to get tangled up. As you can see where Cade Cunningham's feet are right next to each other, which means he's off balance. That means his momentum is still going in this direction. And that's exactly when Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to plant and he's going to separate. And in this case, Cade Cunningham actually does a great job of recovering. And he's bigger than Shai, and it doesn't matter. Cade gets up, but because enough separation was created in the first place, we know where this is going to end up. It's going right over the top of his release, ends up at the bottom of the net. It's great defense. It's just an unstoppable offensive play. Now, this one's a little different. This one, oh my goodness, we're going to start this out here because you got all kinds of stuff going on. You could this leg going this direction. The vision is this way. The other leg's this way, doing a full split practically. And Shai's almost cruel on this because he could just shoot right here. I mean, you got all this separation. Right. He said, no, I'm going to go ahead and do this to him again. Takes it, and again, there's the plan. He plants his foot first. Your feet get tangled up. As you can see, they're right next to each other, and that means your momentum is going in this direction, which means there is no possible way you can shift your body weight in time to get back to where he separates from. Separation, easy shot. It's just easy pickings for Shai. And again, I could have stopped that right before he released it and shown you there were 4 defenders within 6 feet of him. One behind him. Yeah. It doesn't matter to him, and that's why it's so unique. Guys don't want to operate in that kind of traffic. He doesn't care.
There's no better duo other than liking the iPad than Shai and getting buckets. So I'm going to trade you. I'm going to have the iPad. And can you just show us exactly what you just showed us there, but on our court?
So first I want to differentiate between his step back.
Well, I got to stop legs.
Good luck. First of all, what are you lifting at? What are you lifting at? I'm 6'9". I'm like 6'5". So Shai's about 6'5", right? Yeah. So that's about right. So he takes on 6'9" defender. Now some of those guys are a little bit maybe fleeter of foot than you right now. But don't matter. You're a big dude. He wouldn't matter to Shai. Guys, I'm going to get you back on your heels in school. I want to talk about one thing real quick. The differentiation between other guys' step backs. Jason Tatum, he's more of a side step. But Luka is all about strength. He's going to hit you with his shoulder, back you up and step. With Shai, it's all about the footwork and then how quickly off the ground. So what he's going to try to do, he gets the ball in his left hand. As he takes you into the middle, it's the right foot always. He plants before you plant. I know your feet are so close together.
Right, can you hear my mic?
You have to now take a couple more steps in this direction.
Yo,
Using your momentum
Rosie.
at the same time I stop, I bring the ball away in my left hand. Even if you get a hand up, the last part is what's so impressive. I'm off the ground so quick and out of my hand. Even when he plays it well, it doesn't matter. How many times I've seen Shai make a shot that is palm on palm in the mid-range, the ball's already released. It doesn't matter.
I have no clue if it's working.
Basically, he's going to walk on the court.
But hey.
The last time he didn't, it was before Halloween. Oh, come on. We got to channel the Shea Butter. Come on, Legs.
There you go.
We're going to keep shooting until Legs gets it. In the meantime, though.
There you go.
Oh, my God. Our players are so unfriendly to Legs today.
Come over here during the break.
There you go.
There we go. Now we can go to break. Still to come on NBA today. Oh, by the way, you keep shooting. Here's the word break. Now keep it up. Keep it up. Whoa, they've won 13 straight games.
Ah, damn.
The lineup. Big Perk, he's going to break down what has been working.
Still got it rolling.
Speaking of red hot and rolling, still shooting over there. But how about the Warriors?
You just need to get the first one to go. That's 4 straight.
The question is, how much can you trust Golden State?
Can I get 5?
Coming to the postseason. There it is, that's 5. The Knicks will but there were major causes for concern for taking
Okay.
on this panel thinks
You can hear me?
I can vouch for him. Buckets. Buckets.
I worked out too much, ladies.
When you pop open an On the Rocks Cosmo, you get masterfully mixed magic.
Right there in that one. And AG, by the way, Cornbread Maxwell said he's the greatest Celtics all-around player to ever play the game. All right, down at the bottom, take it down. I'm going with the
2017.
Upset alert.
Okay.
I'm going with the Pistons.
Okay.
One of the greatest defensive teams we have ever seen. Ever. Did you see what they did to the Lakers? By the way, they didn't just have Kobe and Shaq. Remember, they had Karl Malone, even though he's older, Gary Payton, but them boys was something real. Rasheed Wallace, Big Shot, Chauncey Billups, Rick Hamilton, Tayshaun Prince, and the bench and the depth that they had, those boys locked up, okay? Going in down at the bottom. Going with the 2001 Lakers. Kobe and Shaq. That's when Shaq was on a mission. Dominant in all fashions. Kobe, the Fro, getting it done in great fashion. This is me. This is the move.
Legs.
I got a problem with the Warriors Pistons one. That's the only one I really have a major problem with. The Heat Celtics one, to me, that's kind of a toss-up. So you're on that squad. I'm gonna go with you on that. I do have a problem with the Pistons over the Warriors.
He's got a problem with that. Well, we're going to be picking the champs still to come on our show. Also, do the Knicks' troubles run deeper than just missing their all-star point guard? We're going to traverse the Knickscape landscape. Say that a couple times fast after the break.
You're watching the ESPN Tournament Challenge Marathon presented by ESPN Bet. Download the Tournament Challenge app to fill out your men's and women's brackets now.
Please.
My God, it's almost closing time. I've had enough bullshit for one day.
Last year, when games weren't going well for Tennessee, how much did you see and feel James Pierce Jr.? That's the question that's going to surround him up until April 24th. Do I think it's a guarantee he goes in the first 10 picks? No, but if you had to ask me for a list of every play that could go, even if the percent is 1 in the first 10 picks, I would have James Pierce Jr. on that list, even though I think it'll end up being closer to 20 by the time it is all said and done. You simply don't find too many guys at this size with gazelle-like speed and some production over the past 2 years. 9.5 2 years ago, 7.5 this past season. Wasn't quite as dominant, but still. 7.5 sacks compared to some of the guys that we were talking about early on in the show. That's a monster year right there for James Pierce now.
Yeah, and Grady, you were talking about Michael Williams. We had James Pierce Jr. in the mix to be the #1 pick overall. Of course, he didn't have the production he had the previous year. And sources obviously talk about interviews. And all these players' interviews are very important. And for James Pierce Jr., interviews, how did teams view him moving forward in the NFL? That was critical as much as anything else. Testing-wise was at 6'5 1/4, 245 pounds. That ability to close like he did. He played snap. It's not a guy who just is an edge rusher, a one-trick pony. He can play. Yeah, some of these teams might capitalize on a little bit of a drop. Maybe he gets into the late first. Maybe he gets, like talk about the Bengals with Shamar Stewart. They can look at Pierce. Detroit Lions need a pass rush. And the Eagles always take one. The teams move up and look at James Pierce. I think because he's so talented field and he was so dominant 2 years ago, we had a high grade going in, and then he kind of dropped off. I had people saying he's probably going to be a second rounder. Yeah. So again, he could be, not these pass rushers. Not all going to go in the first round. Okay, they're going to be in the second, third round, some of these guys, and they're going to be some good picks at that point. But James Pierce Jr., talent off the charts.
That's why I almost fell out of the chair, Field, when you said the potential to go in the first round, because I try and keep track of these things in that grouping, and I may have to move him to a different grouping based upon the conversation that we just had. We'll see. I understand that you were saying it's a 1% chance, but if there's even a 1% chance, I need to be ready on that Thursday night in Green Bay. All right, we are ready for our Orange Crushers. They're coming up after the break. The players whose names you don't know, but you will as soon as Mel and Field mention them. Plus, they got a couple of guys here as we're getting after the quarterback and much, much more. It is the first draft, and we are back right after this.
Hey, brushing besties, get another toothpaste that does not whiten. Girl, this wouldn't work. Dr. Torres?
Not a grade. Not a grade, man.
don't know if that in cloth fabric.
You sick. Look at like blue. We're back on First Draft with Mel and Field. We've been breaking down pass rushers throughout this program today. Let's move on then to different areas here. Everyone's got a guy. You know, everyone who's done, I hear it all the time from different people. Great, you do the draft. I got a guy. I got a guy. I want to hear a guy you guys have here. Mel, give me a guy.
Well, I'll tell you what, Travion Henderson had a heck of a year, but he gets back. A guy like Quinshon Judkins coming in as a regular player from Ole Miss to Ohio State. He did thank you for a lot of what happened because he was able to be fresh, healthy, and planned the whole year because durability has been a concern. When he got Judkins, he planted it in there, and gets the production. This kid had 16 touchdowns at Ole Miss, 15 the second year, 14 at Ohio State. So really 2 years ago, that's 16 that goes over 1,000 yards this year, gets the ball out of the backfield, and the great compliment with Travion Henderson. Got Jonathan Jackson, being an MVP guy for Ohio State, and filled in for Josh Simmons at left tackle. I thought this Quinshon Judkins meant to Travion Henderson, who's able to maximize on the top and stay on the field and make all those big plays. Quinshon Judkins and as anybody for Ohio State and their great run, that helped put a top echelon team to win a national title for the Buckeyes.
And I'll say this, I think both Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson go in the first half of the second round. I hope the team can make that investment. Consider following a model like they did at Ohio State last year. I'm not sure either one of these guys is a player that I want to carry the football 20 to 25 times a game at the NFL level for multiple seasons. If you get them in that 12 to 18 touch per game capacity, these guys can both be excellent. My guy is a player who, last I checked, if you're an offensive lineman, protecting the quarterback, if you were sacked, you give up the best. How about 0 sacks allowed? 0 over the past 3 seasons. For Wyatt Milam playing left tackle for West Virginia. Now, it ain't always pretty, though. This guy is not this big fleet-of-foot athlete like you see in some of these other players who will go in the first round. But he's sturdy, he's dependable, and he plays with force. For all those reasons, and because of the lack of top-end athleticism, I think he's going to be a guard. I've got him graded as a guard in this year's NFL draft. And I just think you're going to find an offensive line coach is going to spend some time with him, either on the stage or going to have him in for a 30-day, do a pro day, or do a private workout, is going to say, I want one of these guys. Are they flashy? No. Do they get the job done every single play? That is usually the case for Wyatt Milam. Again, 3 years in a row without allowing a sack as a left tackle. That is almost impossible to do no matter what level you are at. I think Wyatt Milam has become a guard and becomes a really good player. I've got a mid-third round grade on Wyatt Milam.
There's a consensus. Go ahead, guys.
When you look at these offensive linemen, we do this a lot. We take tackles and we guard. The largest first year in the NFL at 6'8". So we talk about Will Campbell at 6'6" and change. And he did all the time. We played Marcus Tony Jones was a left tackle. Baltimore Ravens actually. Where's he going to guard after being a tackle coming in? So this movement inside the guard could happen with a lot of those guys. On that with Elton Banks Jr. He grew in from Texas to that guard spot. Cordelia gets at right tackle. He grew inside to that guard spot. There's a lot of that going on with teams. And that versatility they will show, they will be able to show once they're in the NFL.
Milam was a consensus All-American this year in the Big 12 Offensive Lineman of the Year. And you just answered one of my questions when I did my notes on him. I wanted to find out, do teams project him as a tackle or a guard? Again, I think Field, you speak to a lot of people when you say he likes to move inside. Okay, now, I know you only do this show so that we can get to this at the end. The Orange Crushers, Mel's favorite part of the show. We're going to take a player that you've never heard of, and we are going to give him the national recognition he deserves. Mel, who is your Orange Crusher?
Hey, maybe through all this is my Orange Crush time of the year. But we're going to have Orange Crushers in the Orange Draft. This guy crushed it. I got a couple. I got an entry, guys. We've got Kentucky Derby coming up. I got an entry. I'm going to go with two Georgia Bulldogs here. Not just Cash Campbell. How about Dan Jackson? Dan Jackson say, yeah, both these guys, I feel we talked about him before, but it's an entry. We were one of these guys who were invited to the combine. Chaz Campbell gave us like a rough bill as Jalen Walker in terms of the tactical play. You have the tackle numbers, you have about 40, but he had the tackles for loss, he had the stacks. He could play fullback, be able to Herbert Pullman or so go for a block and be there, get back into the end zone.
Chaz Chandler can play inside, outside, special teams, fullback. You going back to late rounds of the draft, a guy at Georgia was productive like he was. Remember, you had to wait your turn at Georgia, because there are a few guys who are playing with the Eagles right now, and they're playing a high level of mental attitude back to the spot, right? So Chaz Chandler, not invited to the combine. Dan Jackson, safety, not invited to the combine. What that book was good for my football team.
Even those guys on day three, maybe even the 8th round, the undrafted free agent. Dan Jackson was an older prospect, he'll be 25 this upcoming season, but I think Rick Koenig ran really well, and the production was ridiculous. You mentioned how Jack Daniels was productive at some of those top tier edge rushers of that team. How about Dan Jackson? James Cowboy this past year, very productive at one time. Now it's got to go. My orange record, not as far off the radar. This guy is late June, maybe even early to mid-3. We talked about it before, but it's important to bring him back up because I've come to appreciate kind of what he represents and how he goes about his business. That's Austin Phillips from Boston County. He was a right tackle during his final season at SEC. He worked during the pre-draft process specifically at the Senior Bowl, left tackle as well. And he has normally is in there senior, so this guy doesn't have elite athleticism. That is the case if you're really playing as a starting right tackle in the NFL. I'll just put you so darn big value. This guy is 6'7", 6'8", long arms. Reminds me last year, Miami second round pick. Not in terms of style of play necessarily, but just Patrick Paul coming out of Houston was so big. Even if he wasn't just unbelievable athlete, just getting around the player is hard to do. Ozzie, the son of the late Steve Capello, I remember he scouted him back in the day, got drafted by the New Orleans Saints, passed very tragically at a young age after time with the Patriots as well. Ozzie played a lot of good football for DC over the last couple of years. I think he's a right tackle in the NFL with left tackle screen potential. If you needed him in a pinch now, this guy goes somewhere on day 2 as a top, call it 60 to 85.
I'd probably bet the second round. Vegas probably Earl in the third round. Philly Charles Grant would have been very close back for that next round. Actually, we're going back for another year. You get to that 7, 8, 9 people. Yeah, there's going to be some guys. Obviously, Josh Connerly we talked about coming out of Oregon, and Elvis back Jr. of Texas. We got Josh Simmons as a wild card coming back from injury. So a lot of tackles. You mentioned Miles Reese inside the guard, but certainly I think you look out at the pillow. I'd probably bet somewhere in the second at worst, like I say, you go over the third round range, go later than that.
All right, guys, we have one piece of business left, and I don't know what it is. Our producer, Joey G, we all know is a sneaky little devil, and he has just agreed we have a surprise for you and the guys. So he's going to show it to us now.
Yeah! That's tremendous!
I have said it before, I'll say it again. We have the best hair of any podcast in America. I know, Mel, there are a lot of podcasts out there. I know what you like to listen to, but there's podcasts on practically every subject under the sun. I will put our trifecta of hair up against literally anyone's in the entire industry. Mel, your thoughts?
Well, I'll tell you what, that was me in 1984. That was 84. Because I'll tell you what, it was wild back then. I got it up on my Twitter X page. Yeah, because we got 84 hair. So yeah, the hair started to get cut a little bit more when I played Kim. Kim hated long hair. And John Wildhack, maybe in Syracuse, said, he had more than he ever did because he knew she would keep my hair manageable and looking better than it did back in the day when it was, like I say, wild and crazy.
It's the stuff of legend. And Field, whatever I said it to you last week, whatever new thing it is you're doing, keep doing it, my man. It's working.
Something good and working.
It is working for you.
You got a name who's responsible for this.
Neil, Bill Dustin Jr. and Caitlin Yates, my wife.
Really? Yeah, yeah. Oh, the footsteps of the
And that is it for this episode of First Draft. Don't forget, scan the QR code, like and subscribe to our podcast. Tune in every Monday and Thursday for full draft analysis and send your questions using the hashtag First Draft for a chance to be featured on the program. Another reminder, Mel's Mock 3.0 drops tomorrow. We'll be covering it on the Thursday edition of this podcast. And that's just been
I got a shot.
Thank goodness. I'm spending 2 hours on it on get up tomorrow morning. So don't give it away until then.
I know about half an hour ago there was one pick. I guarantee that.
Oh, I'm telling you right now, we're going to do it. That's Mel, that's Field, I'm Greeny. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you Thursday.
Working to snap a 4-game losing streak here against the 11th seed Sun, who are attempting to get into the play-in. Sort of, right? Like, Luka Doncic comes in averaging 29.9 points per game against the Suns in his career, only second to Michael Jordan for the most against Phoenix in NBA history. He got going early and often in this
Oh,
one.
goodness. And that's Kevin Durant, man. Kevin Durant, very good perimeter defender to Luka. Mixed him up right there. Got to that lean back.
Luka with a triple and then some words maybe in Katie's direction. Look here though, legs. He just has so much space.
Yeah, I mean, normally Luka matches for defenders. I guess it was not working in this particular occasion.
I think that Luka Doncic agrees with you. Take a listen to what he's saying right here.
I never know what's so much in the left. Not getting out of the playoffs.
I mean, I love getting an intimate look at that sort of trash talk that you get to see on the floor.
Yeah, but unfortunately, only one team backed it up, and it was the Los Angeles Lakers. Look at me and Dan Austin.
Austin Reeves has been sensational, especially over the last 3 games here for LA that he's played. Back out to Luka Doncic here, carving through the defense plus the foul.
Yeah, look, this is a game right here. He gets you on his back, he wears like a backpack, and then he gets to the line. He's too big, too strong, and you got to have more fighting resistance if you want to deal with this man.
Luka really feeling it with this run. He finished with 32 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists, and the Lakers get the win here. That snaps their 4-game losing streak. This was a key win on Sunday, moving into all. He led his team outright in points, rebounds, assists in a game. He had 120th time in his career, passing Giannis Antetokounmpo for the 3rd most all time in NBA history. Kirk, I think this is when Luka is at his best, when he's leading this team in all 3 categories. How important was this performance, especially considering we know LeBron is going to be out at least probably another week as he goes back to injury?
Well, listen, right now, the ACL, ceiling fan is growing, and Luka's feet are rubbing together.
What a picture.
He's comfortable. He's comfortable. And a lot of people have to realize, unless you've been traded before, you don't know the feeling. And now we're starting to see him embrace being a Los Angeles Lakers. He's finally getting his legs up under him. You see he's finally moving and getting back to the Luka that we know. Rebounding at a high level, dropping downs at a high level. Hell, he's been averaging 30 plus over his last few games. And so this is the Luka that everyone has grown to love. And now he got his swag back. He's interacting with the fans and now he's looking for the rest of the league.
Well, first I want to say the image of him over the Well, I'm just going to say this. I'm going to say you agree with this. There's nothing uglier than American NBA players. There's a reason NBA players have socks on their feet. Socks on their feet. I'm telling you right now. Their dogs are torn up. I'm telling you right now. All right? Look, to this point, here's the biggest thing for me. You had to start to see the 3-point shot really more. And it wasn't necessarily yesterday, but 42% March, 24% in the games he played in February for the Lakers. And that's really, to me, forget his overall field goal percentage. He's always going to make a high percentage of shots in the lane or one-on-one shots in the mid-range or stuff at the rim. It's the 3-point shot that differentiates the kind of night he's going to have and how difficult he is to deal with. That shot has been going in at a much more regular rate. And when you get LeBron back, and they can find the defensive rhythm again before the playoffs, with Luka playing this well now offensively, and Austin Reeves, I can't say, there's not enough praise for how much better of an offensive player he is than I ever thought he could be.
And Legs, I want to ask you a question, because when we and Bob and I were talking about this the other day, at this point, it's this type of field Austin Reeves is. It's not a world. It's not like all NBA.
He's not a star yet. He's in that middle ground. Here's what he is. On a given night, if one of those guys is out, he is capable of leading every bit as good as Jalen Williams to lead Oklahoma City. Maybe not quite the defensive back, but he's capable of being a coach star when one of those guys is out. That's really what we're talking about now. And when he has to slide to the third seat, he can do that as well. And he's been incredible during this stretch. And look, man, they just got to get LeBron back enough time to find that defensive rhythm. And we know what kind of factor they can be in the West.
Oscar is averaging 31 points over his last 3 games. And of course, his role shifts a little bit with LeBron back in the lineup, but they're all starting to gel at the right time. If we could, I'd like to keep in the spirit of bracketology. Which I was saying bracketology. In the Western Conference play-in race, here are the final 2 in. The Kings and the depleted Mavericks as of right now. The first 2 out are the Suns and the surging Trailblazers led by head coach Chauncey Billups, of course. So, the Suns, the Lakers, they're the talk of the NBA, but when we talk about the madness here, Kirk, I'm looking at the Phoenix Suns. Have you ever been, how would you, first of all, who's back there? How would you describe it right now?
A disaster. A team that has quit on their coach. And if I'm like Budenholzer, to be honest, it's no more. It's no more franchise guys. I'm playing the guys that are going for me. And if that means Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal not getting the minutes, then that's so be it. At this point, he has nothing to lose. Okay, but when I look at the Phoenix Suns, in my 14 years of playing, I have never been part of an organization or a team that has quit on their coach. Hell, before we won the championship, I was on the team that lost 18 games in a row. 18. So we competed. We weren't going out there and the one thing that has one of those things, so you're not competing. No, we was actually turning over the ball, making mistakes. We just didn't have it. But for us competing, this is an embarrassment. Not only to the Phoenix organization, but to the rest of the NBA. We got so many guys that are going to be not struggling at this team, especially Kevin Durant.
What I'm hearing is a lack of passion. And that's what it just oozes through them. All games, I've got the coach out there, I'm watching the TV and something, certainly something in this game. Here's the difference between the other teams that we would use the word disappointing about. All of those teams, so we could throw down there now, these guys are healthy. And they're playing this. And here's the analogy. Imagine if you're walking down the street and you're trying to catch up with somebody. And that person is walking backwards. And you still can't catch it. That's what we're talking about with the Dallas The Dallas season is over. And they're literally moving backwards down the sidewalk. And Phoenix still can't catch it. Oh, by the way, as Phoenix backs up, oh, they're coming into Portland now. This is what we're talking about with the Phoenix Suns. It's the same thing. They can't run down the Dallas Mavericks fight. And they're not even making up ground. All three of them, but all their teams.
And the Dallas Mavericks, our Bobby Marks pointed this out, and I think it's important to just contextualize just how the madness, if you will, that you're talking about. On the 24th, the Dallas Mavericks are going to be at risk, according to Bobby, of having to forfeit games because they don't have enough healthy players available here. Because that's the first game that the league has come out and said to the Dallas Mavericks, they're not going to grant an exception, Bobby Mark says. So their two-way players, Hunter Edwards, not available to play starting on that 24th game. And still, the Phoenix Suns are struggling to catch up. So that's going to be a key game that all of us are watching here to see what the Dallas Mavericks do. And if they're going to be forced into a position where they're really less unhealthy players, just to be able to do something. Of course, we're talking about the Lakers. Of course, we're talking about the Suns. But this is the actual month of projected number 1 draft pick for the draft. That's the question. As the NBA draft, but they close to 1 season Friday. When the coach said that Josh Hyatt said that our goal is for Friday, no question about it. I made that huge goal as well. So Brad plays for the presumptive favorite on the money side of the bracket. You just picked to win in more than a quarter of the NBA tournament time. The winning side, which is your South Carolina, has been picked to win in over 27% of brackets in the Oklahoma. So did you say that was about that? Okay, well, the tournament, you see it just keeps on growing. Find us more and more brackets being filled out here. But Kirk, I think you didn't even fill out your official bracket yet. You've been cooking up a bracket of your own with a little NBA twist.
I want to be part of this March Madness.
Okay, I like
to go to college. So, okay, I had to come up with this pay strategy. Okay, my bad. And I'm going NBA champion. And here's the deal. We got to set the table. Put it up there. Bam! From right here. The 96 Bulls. They make it. That's what we talking about, Scott Davis and Jordan. We're talking about guys doing it at a high level. We're talking about one of the greatest of all time, the best duo of all time. Scott Davis, they won 6 of them, so I see that. 2017 Warriors. Bam! Put it up there. I let you smile. LeBron James. When we talk about championship teams, they're one of the best to ever do it. Coming in, number 3 on the list. Bam! Put it up there. The 2001 Lakers. Kobe and Shaq. Devin, Tilly Bean, and Shaquille O'Neal. The Big Eagles. Do you remember that name? How dominant they were? I can forget. You remember the conversations that was being had? Who's the dominant MVP? That's how special they were. Coming in at number 2. Bam! Put it up there. Guys on there, Champ, James Jones. So you just got to talk about the city stuff. We'll talk about that later. Coming in at number 5. You know I had to be 5. Where did you get that was taken by one of the champions, not AG, but me. And the truth, Paul Pierce, who has one of the greatest individual runs in playoff history. Okay? Coming in at number 6 on the movie.
Nah, fuck this.
A real team, anchored by Big Ben, holding it down in the paint, blocking up Shaquille O'Neal. Rasheed Wallace, first stretch big, in my opinion, who don't get enough credit. Who my former teammates, so number 8. Bam! Put it up there. 2015, 2016, Cleveland Cavaliers. 73 and 9 was live. And they lied. They came down from being 3-1 to go on and put it on the champ.
Okay, so our producers have been made to put a bracket out of page first, and our producers made this bracket. And I'm 30 years young, and they're about to sit there and get the woman in my butt.
How do you do this? I don't want to date myself. I'm a little older than you. And I think we're going on time. Yeah, my eyes. Okay, so my eyes. There's 3 big omissions from this list, but I understand it's you gotta have 83 Sixers, the 86 Boston Celtics, and 86 Raptors. All 3 of those teams would be in this list. And I start handpicking teams to take off.
So throughout the course of the show, we're going to continue to fill out a quick bracket of champions of my lifetime. You guys qualify. So the ones that won 8 straight are looking at me. We'll tell you what they figured out and whether or not they came back to the conference final. You guys are not going to let you in on their text exchange. That's what Red said the NBA has the biggest salary shot over team. So that's going to show us what that means and why it's dangerous next. Watch the Nuggets. They're in the day taking on the Red Hot Warriors. The one that stepped in the news is their first year. I mean, they are back to after this.
Cyrus can cause serious side effects, including heart failure and death. The risk is increased with a serious infection, liver difficulties, or with certain other medicines. Do not stop, start, or change medicines or drugs without telling your doctor. Do not have
people spend their lives searching for certainty when people like you remind the world that certainty is a myth. And for them, that's more terrifying than anything. Number 10, they didn't find no weaknesses, only more depth. Profilers don't just study people, they deconstruct them. They look for weaknesses, pressure points, and hidden fears. Their entire system is built on the ability to find what makes someone vulnerable and use it to predict or manipulate their behavior. They assumed you'd be no different. At first, they searched for the usual weak spots, emotional triggers, insecurities, unresolved trauma. But as they peeled back the layers, something unexpected happened. Every place where they expected a flaw, they found strength. Every moment where they anticipated hesitation, they found clarity. Instead of breaking you down, they found themselves lost in the depth of you. You were a puzzle to be solved. You were a paradox to be respected. This wasn't just frustrating, it was threatening. Because if they couldn't find your weaknesses, they couldn't control you. And if they couldn't control you, then the entire system they operated in, the system built on knowing what makes people break, was powerless against you. They were used to finding answers. But with you, every answer led to another question. Every test they ran only exposed how multifaceted, adaptable, and unpredictable you really are. And that left them with only one conclusion. You weren't someone to be analyzed. You were someone to be reckoned with. Number 11. You hold secrets they weren't meant to discover. There are certain truths about the world that are never meant to be widely known. Truths about power, influence, and how people are kept in line. The entire system, from media to education to politics, is built on keeping people predictable, distracted, and easy to control. People like you shatter that design. You weren't meant to exist, not in the way that you do. Because if everyone was like you, self-aware, unconditioned, immune to manipulation, entire industries of control would collapse. The system relies on people following the script. It thrives on compliance, on individuals who doubt themselves just enough to seek external validation, on minds that can be guided toward pre-approved narratives. But you don't look outside for direction. You see through the programming. You don't fall for the illusions that keep most people trapped. Whether it's fear-based control, distractions designed to keep people from asking real questions. When they studied you, they expected to find patterns that fit within their control mechanisms. Instead, they found someone who had already broken free, someone who knew the secrets before they were even revealed. And that's where the real threat lies, because people like you don't just wake up, you wake others up too. The system isn't afraid of rebels, they can be contained. It's not afraid of geniuses, they can be employed. It's afraid of those who don't need the system at all. Those who walk through the world with clarity, independence, and an unshaken
open or accepting to the notion of an autocracy. I think we are pretty much in a full kind of, maybe most generously, autocracy life, and much of America voted for this.
Do you think that, say for example, what's happening in the stock market is a reflection of people's dissatisfaction with this direction that you're talking about? I mean, I think the S&Ps had this worst boost ever. All the gains that we had since the election have practically been wiped out.
People will buy stocks regardless. Sentiment sort of takes a backseat to financial considerations. I think what's happening in the market is, first off, you have to acknowledge that even with these drawdowns, the market is still substantially up from where it was just 6 months ago. It has come back from pre-election. The Trump bump has been wiped out. I think what you're seeing, quite frankly, is that the market just may have got, quite frankly, overvalued. But I think the thing that kind of triggered the sell-off, if you will, is what appears to be irrational non-economic decisions around tariffs, where we're basically ripping up 80-year-long alliances with trusted economic partners that engage in mutually trade, and that these are not only a bad idea in the specific agreements for trade folks that we're ripping up, but America's losing a very important brand association for economic relationships with geopolitical business and national consistency.
Thank you. The estimate by the Yale budget law reduced tariffs somewhere between $1,600 and $2,000 every year. It's also estimated to reduce our GDP as much as $110 billion a year. You know, and one of the lines of thinking that I hear from the administration is, look, if these short-term hits really can get us better leverage to try to negotiate longer-term prosperity for America, this will have been worth it. Does that make sense?
Well, to be fair, tariffs aren't all bad. Sometimes you need tariffs and hammers to restore symmetry to an asymmetric trade relationship. Biden maintained the initial Trump tariffs. The asymmetry of the trading relationship between China and the U.S. were active. What this is, though, is just plain non-economic. I was a graduate student instructor in macroeconomics in graduate school. We used to talk about tariffs and actually the same lady. Professors in medical school talk about leeches. Like, can you believe they were stupid enough to actually think this would work? You know?
What's up, Big Ray?
What's going on, cousin?
What's going
Did I
on?
wake you up? Did I wake you up?
No, what's up?
Listen, man, remember the other morning we were sitting in the hotel lobby we were talking about, and I was telling you that, you know, I didn't have the brain power for college and all that kind of stuff, but my grandbabies do, and I had some grandkids that, you know, had that kind of brain power like you guys have. Just got a text from my daughter, my youngest child, Dana. This is her child that she's telling me about, that just got accepted to Berkeley, UC Berkeley, man, for summer school program. Yeah, well, it's only for summer school program, but this child is always doing stuff for NASA, NASA. Her summer school program is always something to do with science, and so she had a 4.0 GPA, and they just chose her. One of a few select students in Southern California, man, that's accepted to Berkeley for summer school program, man. I'm so proud.
I'm going to shoot good circle to Berkeley for school, period. That'd be a feat right there, boy, to go to Berkeley. Oh, that's real, man. That's good. Especially the young ones, man.
The controller died.
Grandkids, man. You know, with this generation, man, you know, these kids, know, man, because they be like, oh, we don't want to kill. Grandpa gonna go nuts, man.
Exactly right. And so she says.
What was she? What year was she in when she got pregnant, though, man?
She was the first year.
Oh,
the first year of college.
man,
This is the thing, though. Her grandma, she said, look, Papa, she said, listen. Grandma did the thing. She said, I'm not saying I'm following grandma. She was talking about my wife. She said, I'm not saying I'm following grandma. She said, but you know, if you think back, grandma got pregnant in the first year of college too. And she went back to school. She had a baby that she told her she was gonna do. And so all I'm doing, I'm taking off, I'm gonna have my child, and I'm gonna go back to school. She said, I'm gonna finish college one day. She said, right now, I'm gonna have my little baby. So she's a smart girl. She's always been smart, have a good head on her shoulders. And, you know, I'm never gonna stop pushing her towards finishing school. So
yeah, when I seen them how pretty they were, I was like, oh man, these dudes gonna be on these dudes, man.
Yeah. Well, you know, like I said, you know, my wife, I got my wife pregnant and during the same time in her life.
Right.
And she took off to have a child and then she went back to school.
Yeah.
So she tells my granddaughter, says, Papa, I'm doing the same thing Grandma did. I'm having my child, but I'm going back to school. I'm like, okay, I'm all used to that.
Oh,
all right? So we'll see, man. But that's her younger sister I'm telling you about doing this paperwork with Berkeley.
Okay. And then there's another one too, though, ain't it? And it's
three of them. It's Tasia.
Okay, what?
Selena. Tasia's the one I'm telling you about that had the baby. That's the oldest one. Remember we used to come down to LA? I had three little girls with me all the time.
Yeah.
That's the three I'm talking about. That's Tasia, Selena, and Tiana. Tiana was the real small one, the youngest one of the bunch.
Okay, that younger one just got the Calvin.
She's the one that's got the paperwork, yeah.
Okay, where's the other one? Though it's another one in college too, right?
Yeah, that's Selena. She's a state.
Okay, she at San Francisco State. Okay,
right.
And so what year is she?
Her and Tasia was in going to San Francisco State.
Okay.
Both going to state.
So what year? Okay, so which one's still there? What year is she in? Not the one that got pregnant.
Second year. That's Selena.
Okay. How's she doing?
She's doing fine, man. She's working and going to school.
Yeah, that's it, man. She's keep grinding. Yeah, just tell them keep grinding, man. You grind it out now, man. But once she's done, they'll be like, oh, I'm finished. You know, they ain't got to worry, you know.
I told them from the beginning, I told them, small grandbaby, I said, listen, you work hard now, you have an easy life later on.
Yeah.
You work around and play around, have easy life right now. It's going to be hard for you later on in life.
Yeah.
So you take your choice. What you want the easy life now? Or you want the easy life later on in life? What you want? 21. Because the easy life later on in life is going to buy you a house. And all this stuff you want.
Yeah.
The easy life right now ain't shit. But a good time.
Yeah, that's
you
it.
Know what I mean?
A good time. That's it.
That's going to get you, and that's going to play out.
Yeah, that's playing out quick, because it's only short good time. That ain't nothing long. Nothing long term. Shoot.
Not long term, baby.
That's short.
Long term.
Yeah, party for a week or two, and then you go, oh, what's that? No.
Yeah.
They gotta grind, man. You gotta tell them to grind now, man. Yeah.
That's right.
Get it.
We tried our best, man. We picked those girls, and we always try to travel with them. They've been to Asia with us and shit like that, you know. So we try to take them around a little bit and show them some things and talk to them. And so far, so good. Now, I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow, man. You know what I mean? But so far, I like to say, so far, so good.
Yeah, you put the work in, you put the time in. So now it's like, okay, it's up to y'all now. Y'all know what we expect. Y'all know what the goals y'all want. You know, y'all have been around the world, early age. You know, then they've seen things. And so now you tell us, okay, now it's time for y'all to put up now. You know, you got to put
down.
Yeah.
That's right. Buckle down.
Yeah, you got to buckle down, man. Ain't nothing easy, man. You got to tell that, man. This is nothing easy in this life, bro. I'm going to tell you. You got to tell them, man. Look, I ain't going to sugarcoat nothing. Tell them right now, look, ain't nothing easy. You going to either get it or you not. It's simple as that. You know what I mean? We could lead you to the well, but we can't make you drink. No, I can't put your head in there. I can take you there. You can't. I can't even put your head over the well. You got to do that and drink. So I mean, I can only lead you, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make a decision. That's good. That's good news, man. Hey, don't you okay now Lil Dre, don't he have a son? Don't you got a grandson too?
Yeah, I got a grandson, but he.
Okay, what's up with him, man?
I told him, I said, man, do you want a job or career, right? But he had a baby. He had a child, he had a baby girl. So we got a good job, and he's just working every day. You know, I try to put it down to all of them and say, don't be like me. Don't do what I did. I had my baby when I was 16 years old.
Yeah, but see, they thinking, well, it worked out for Grandpa, you know, in the end. You know, he cruising down, but man, they don't understand them first 30 years was a beast. They don't know. They don't understand, man. They looking at it now. It's a cakewalk now. He's in his 60s, is it? They looking at, oh, well, Grandpa did this. He did all right. Look at him now. Oh, it's a whole different ball game for y'all.
It is. That's right. But anyway, like to answer your question, man, all he's doing, man, is working. He got a job. He got no career. He got a job. He got an apartment, you know, trying to take care of his little baby girl, and him and the mama ain't together no more, so he trying to take care of his daughter, and so it is what it is.
How old is he? How's your grandson?
Andre's got to be 20, maybe 25.
Dang, he the third too, huh?
Yeah, he's third, yeah.
Dang.
You know, I tell you what, he's a much better character than his father. Yeah, a much better character than me too, as quiet as kept. He's a good man. He ain't trying to shirk his responsibility when it comes to his child. You know, he trying to do the right thing with his child, but like I told him before he even had the child, like, man, you know, if you have to go to the military, man, to get something going, the military is a good place to start. You know, you get your career.
Or you could go to trade school, man. Just get a trade. Go to trade school, you know?
No, but he got his, you know, he got his dick wet, and you know, hey, it is what it is, you know?
Oh, man, I mean, yeah, we know well, the thing is, he's a man. So, I mean, he ain't a kid. Yeah. So, I mean, but now, bro, you're 25, 26. Get a trade, man. Go to school, get a trade. There's a lot of things, man. You can get trades, man.
Get some money, that's right.
Yeah, you know, air conditioning, young cats making 80, 90 grand a year, starting off with that 2-year trade. You know, my boy, man, he did time, come out, got a plumber apprentice. He's a trade, and a man making big money now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's stuff you can do if you don't want to, you know, just do a regular 9 to 5. You know, there's careers out there you can go to, man. You know.
Listen, man. Like I said,
they got male RN nurses coming out making $100,000 a year now in nursing school.
That's right.
I mean, you can do that too. I mean, there's stuff you can do. It's just these guys need to bear down on their pride, man, and get it and start doing something with their life and start being prideful. Looking at all these TV shows and make believe they living a life like these people in these you know, YouTube and Twitters and all this stuff, looking at their life, man.
Yeah. Well, you know, like we said a moment ago, bro, we can lead these people to war. They can't make a plan for us, so they're making their own choices. You know, with all my grandkids, I'm kind of guide them. I tell them what I did and what not to do. Don't follow my lead. I told them all, don't follow my lead. Don't do what I did. Because I made it hard for myself, you know. But so don't do what I did, man. It's a better way. It's gonna be hard right now, but it's a better way to do it, you know.
Yeah, that's true. But and you tell them that. But I tell you, at the end of the day, they look at what you guys have become at, you know, now, and you know, financially, if they needed, you know, if y'all wanted to, y'all could be like, man, we gonna help all y'all out. They looking at it like now. So I'm telling you, that's what they doing. They like, well, you know, they in their 60s and they doing well. What we can do, you know what I'm saying? Nah, man, you know, you could, like you say, you tell us that, look, by the grace of God, we got it this way. I think we could be a lot worse if God had made some more wrong decisions. it would have been a bad deal. Y'all may be broke. You know what I'm saying? Poor. Who knows? The fact that you made the right decision, but yeah, like you said, you can't tell them. Don't look at my life now. Even just look at. Don't make the mistakes early on that I did. You know what I'm saying? And tell them that this is what you need to do right here. Y'all need to go right here. This is want to be successful here. You know what I mean? You got the rest of your life to do all this other stuff you want to do. Right now, in y'all life, it's time to grind. These are the years that you grind, man. You don't understand.
That's right. That's right.
You understand, man? You know, I mean, you have to, because, and that's why, I tell even my niece and nephew, and all of a sudden they understand looking at us, and they look back because they remember, they were like, Uncle, like, why did y'all have, like, all those properties and houses at, like, our age? Because when we started, they are at our age now, in the late 20s, early 30s. Well, we was already, me and D-Wall was already sitting pretty at 29, man. We was trying to help my mom and dad get extra properties and stuff. Got co-signing for them. We was trying to do stuff, man, but we listened. What we did, we listened to my dad, but then we also had other people in our ear, man, with business savvy, and they taught us the game at early age, and so we listened. We wasn't prideful thinking we knew everything. We sat down and listened. And then we said, okay, this is what we gonna do. We make a decision, we gonna stick together, we gonna buy this property together, this one together, this one, then we break off, you get married, I get my own stuff, I get my own house, you get your own this, and we go from there. That's the way we did it. You know what I'm saying? We stick together, family first, that's what Pops always called us that, he taught us that, and now it's here. There gotta be some principles put down too, though. When you let them know, hey, it's principles in this. Look, you don't ever backdoor your daughter or your sister. Y'all stick together. If y'all want to be successful, if y'all buy a place together, you can buy a place. He was always thinking at that level. That's the way he was always thinking. So that's congratulations, man, on the young man. I think he may be a young man. For real, I think that she may be the one to be like, Dad, Grandpa, I don't want to look at a man. All I can do is, I'm going to get this, let me get the scholarship. Yeah. I think she's going to be the one to get the full ride to a big school. Like Stanford, Cal, you know what I mean? Big school. Yep.
Well, you know what, cousin? I'm going to keep, because like I said, man, I'm big on seeing my family make the positive moves. That's why I'm big on you guys. And so what I'm gonna do is they make progress or they failures, I ain't scared.
I'm gonna be praying for them too, man. All of them. I want them to succeed. Man, even the one she had a baby, that's just a little hiccup. She could still go to school part time.
Yeah.
She don't have to really she don't even have to take the full year off, and she could actually do some classes online. She could actually keep it going now. That's you know what I'm saying. Tell her that. You can even tell her that. Say, look. Matter of fact, if you don't have to, at least keep you in keep 2 in the chamber, 2 classes in the chamber. You take 2 courses. Yeah, man. Hey, man. You know what? If you want to talk, I mean, I encourage them. I call them and talk to them, man. All of them. I mean, even Lil Dre. I was like, listen, man. I encourage them. You know what I'm saying?
He come. Well, he was there yesterday. With his hand out. Told my dad, I need, you know, man, yeah, I got $20, but here's $20. Like, oh, yeah.
He said $20.
I gave him $20, man. Like, yeah, man,
Oh, yeah.
He lucky when I went through my room. I gave him some ones.
You know, 50, man. Do it to the 50, man.
No, I had to do that. I think it was the ones that ran across the 20. I do that. He went, here, take this here, man. Go ahead on. Because I'm so disappointed in him, man, and the shit that he does, that he's not worthy of my goddamn money right now. You're just a grown-ass man. You're not no youngster. You're in your fucking 40s. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no business asking me for a dime.
You talking about your son. I thought you talking about your grandson.
Oh, no. I'm talking about my son. Yeah, from his ass. He came out for the other day. So, no, I don't like giving him too much of nothing, man, because he too much of a fuck up. You know what I mean? Hey, man, you made your bed, you don't lay in that son of a bitch now without my help.
Is he working? Is he doing anything?
No, he's still in the streets.
Oh, man.
He's still in the streets, and he broke. You know, now you're on the streets and you're broke now. Trying to ask me for some money, man. Man, listen, bro. You know, I'm trying to keep my head above water over here, man. I got no money to be getting. I'm not no grown-ass man. Shit. Yeah. I'm not your mama, man. I ain't your baby mama, man. You know, I'm a whole different type of motherfucker that you know, I ain't the one to be asking for shit like that. Because I'm not easy on you. You ask your mom for some goddamn money. Don't ask me for shit. And so that's what it is. He know how it is between us. You don't try for your damn stuff, bro. I ain't got nothing for you.
And he was actually living with his sister, right? She kicked him out, right?
Hell yeah. She got rid of his ass. So.
See, I'm gonna tell you, man, it's tough, man. Like, man, listen, when these cats go to prison, man, and I got boys and you got a family member, when they go, man, and they get out, you ain't got no plan, man. I'm telling you, bro, it ain't no joke, because you go back to what you know. You know what I'm saying? You literally have to have a life change experience in their life, man. When I get out, I already got the job. They want to hire me. I'm moving out far away. I got my family. You know what I'm saying? You know, he going right back to the hood, to the street.
He came home from a 7-year bid. He came home with the same exact attitude he had when he went up in that joint. He didn't read a book. He didn't read a fucking letter. You know, he didn't do nothing, man. So, you know, you picked that up from the conversation right away. Man, that's the same dude he was 5 years ago. He ain't. And so, that's what it is, you know. And I'm through with that. I'm feeling sorry for you and all that because you're my son. I'm done with that shit. I'm past that stage of life. I'm way past that. I'm on the stage of life now where fuck it. You didn't want nothing. Now you ain't got nothing. You're on your own. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're right. You're about 47.
Man, Jay, man.
Yeah, he about 47. I don't know how old he is right now. He about 47.
Yeah, he was about 6-7 years younger than us. So
yeah, he about that age, man. So, and then he got a bad attitude. Boy got a bad attitude, man. Don't nobody love that motherfucker like my mother loved him. I kid you not. Nobody loved Andre like my mother loved him. He talked to her bad.
Dang, well, you talked to grandma?
He talked to grandma bad, so that's what turned me off with it. That's what made me just drop him. I'm like, boy, you talk to my mom like that? In her house?
What's wrong with
you?
this
You know you ain't
man?
gonna come from me. You know, I used to hear with a pants something, man. I used to hear with something. I listened to my mom in front of me. So, and so that just, I was constantly hearing negative shit about him, right? Negative, always negative, always negative. And so it just colored, I prefer not to fuck with him. And that's my only son.
Yeah, man.
My only son, you know what I mean? I got grandsons, but you know, man, the only son, man. And for a man to feel that way about his only son, it takes some doing to get me to this point. I didn't wake up with this shit overnight.
Yeah, yeah.
This takes some work on his part to make me feel like I feel about him. Because I feel about him, that other way I felt about Robert, your uncle. Because I thought he was less than a man by walking away from his son. So he never got no respect from me because I don't think he ever deserved any from me. My son's saying, wait, you don't seem like you deserve no respect, man, so I don't give you none. You know? I appreciate the way you act, bro.
Yeah, for real.
So, you know, I mean, listen, I ain't no hell of a person. I know I done made a lot of mistakes, man. A lot of mistakes. I got some more to make. But I know I tried to do some things right. At least I tried to do some shit right. I don't think Robert Moore tried to do shit right. I don't think Andre Washington Jr. tried to do shit right. And so I don't have time for that kind of people, man. So that's how that's done, man. But anyway, I didn't even call you to talk about this shit. I just called to let you know, man, that I got some excellent news today, man. You know, your little cousin, man, she's doing swell. And I'm gonna keep you abreast on her progress, man. And hopefully, man, one day you come with your man to graduation.
Yeah. I want to try to start prepping her to get ready to college already, man. Cause I think she got a real good shot to get a full ride, man.
Well, these people do, man. Cause they every summer she does a program with NASA. And these people they ask for her to participate because of her GPA. And she goes right to him, man, and she loves it, man. She loves studying. She's into her books, into school. She like me, going friends at the mall and shit, walking with a little puppy and shit, man. You know, she's kind of, it's all positive, man.
Yeah, I just want, just start gearing her up, man, for college right now, and, and get her mindset, like, hey, give us a list of schools that you're interested in going to college to, and get her write it down, and so she can see it on paper, man, and then she can shoot for that. Say, okay, well, this is what it takes, she be a real-rounded student in high school, she get an ASB, and kind of be a little athletic. They want her to be well-rounded with the grades a little bit. But just try to apply and get these scholarships, man. Academic scholarships. And that's what it's about. So, the parents got your daughter, they got to, her parents ain't got to come out the pocket for nothing. It's free.
Yeah.
I just seen something on, this is good. I just seen something on the news on Nightline right now. Harvard University, man, because Trump, you call him an orange man, just tribute on which the education program was. So what Harvard did is this is good. Harvard says any student out of high school, if their parents make less than $200,000 a year, the household less, they make $200,000 or less. The kid, if you apply, they get in for full ride, man. Harvard, full ride, though.
How about that? Enough parents might give
man, that is a $500,000 scholarship. It costs $500,000 to go to Harvard, man. Full ride, though.
I think the parents is right up under that threshold as far as the finances. I don't think they make quite no $200,000. I'm pretty sure they don't make that much. They don't make that much money.
The dad, well, her father's the one that worked for the transit, right?
Right.
Okay,
I worked for the state too. I worked for DMV.
I don't know, man, because I think Pop's be making good money, though.
But I don't think it look too funny yet. They're there.
Well, you said the dad is the head where Eleanor was, right?
He's second in command, yeah.
So, well, he got to be making at least 150 minimum.
He ain't making some money.
Okay. Whoa, I'm just talking about the.
$200 sound like a lot of money.
Nah, man, because the title, his title alone, that's upper echelon 150, 200, man. That's at least 150. Okay, let's just say he made 150. Well, you may not like it, because I know your daughter makes more than 50 grand a year at the DMV. I already know that. Yeah, I already know that, man.
Well, I don't know.
I'll tell you, man, you can look it up, man. If your daughter making more 50 grand at DMV, they pay more than that. That's 50 grand. Yeah, they making well over 200, which is cool. I mean, that's great. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, that's the program Harvard came out with today. It was on the national news. They said any student, anybody apply for Harvard and get in on Harvard, and if you making the $200,000 or less, you get a full ride to Harvard. If you can get in, though.
If you can get in.
And it's like Fort Knox to get in that thing, because everybody's so competitive. You can't make an A your whole. You gotta make no less than an A your whole life to get in that thing. For real. They got people, man. I got a buddy of mine, my whole life, buddy said, man, I got a buddy, his granddaughter. He said, man, my granddaughter ain't made under an A since the 7th grade. She is senior since the 6th grade. So from 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, all A's. All A's. Not even A minor. All A's and up. I said, man, yeah, she got some offers too. So that's what I'm saying, man. And these kids, these smart kids. They got some crazy kids in this generation. But they also got some smart ones too. They got some smart ones. For real, they got some.
I got a call, my wife's on the other line.
All right, man. I'll talk to you, bro.
I'm gonna give you a phone.
All right.
Okay.
Are you charged up?
Huh?
I bet your phone looking like. I don't want to do. I don't. Let's start getting up.
Everything's for sale, even to an idiot like you. Listen up, jackass. You want work? Then show. I'd say it's been an honor to work with you, but make up your mind or make your way out. You don't buy something next time, I'll shoot you.